time is now 10 p.m. Do you know what's in your soil? Hi, I'm Gary, and welcome to Fladge Rants Live, the show where we talk fashion, exchange recipe ideas, and no, that's not what we do here. Last week we did shirts, no, hats. This week we're doing shirts. That's also not true. But I do work with this guy named David, and because he wants to remain anonymous, we're going to call him Dave to protect his identity. And it's also convenient because that's what we call him, so it's easy for me to remember. But he despises lazy people, and I don't know what problem he has with lazy people. We didn't do anything. But the real topic tonight is dirt. Do you happen to think it's a coincidence that the dirt comes out on candidates just before an election? I don't think so. But dirt also ties in with one of the things that I've been pushing pretty hard lately, and that is lost advanced technology societies, civilizations that came before us and died off, and we have very little of their remains, and mainstream archaeology denies their existence. And I am here to tell you they were very much real. And it's not just Atlantis and Lemuria, there were a few others. Ancient Mesopotamia and India, sure, those are the oldest civilizations, the societies that are still continuing to this day. But there are ones that were wiped out. And soil is one of the reasons we know of one. And that brings us to the Spanish conquistadors. Ruthless bunch of people. They pillaged for the king of Spain, and they claimed the land and the people for the king of Spain. And Francisco de Orellana was second in command of an expedition that came from the west side of South America and worked their way in with 200 armed soldiers and a whole host of captured natives to lead them. So they took slaves as they went. And pretty soon they found that they were dying of starvation, thirst, disease. So they were near a river. So they built a boat and took a contingent of 57 soldiers and some natives, and second in command, Francisco de Orellana, led the expedition forward. And now his plan was to go downstream, find provisions, and return to the rest of the army. Well, they found that the current was far too strong to return. So he basically abandoned 3/4 of their army, and they died of starvation, dehydration, and diseases, malaria, and bad stuff that they weren't used to because they were in South America. Well, Francisco de Orellana ended up being the first Spanish conquistador to explore the Amazon River, because several miles, well, many miles actually away from where they were, that dumped into the Amazon River. By then they had built a second boat, but before they found civilization, they were hallucinating. This is such a fun story. They were lucky that a friendly tribe took them in, nursed them back to health for a month or two, and instead of enslaving them and killing them and pillaging and that, he showed some kindness, which is unlike the Spanish conquistadors. But since this tribe had nursed them back to health and warned them that there are warring tribes out there looking to kill them, they got good warning. And no, Orellana still told them that he was claiming them and their land for the king of Spain. But as they ventured further, they saw they struck land whenever they found civilization, so they could get some more food, steal it, basically, just raid the villages. But they found big cities and highways and huge built up civilization. And he described their artwork as better than the Greeks and Romans. And so he traveled fighting disease um, and spreading smallpox. And he made it. He made it out. He made it back to Spain and told everybody about these massive civilizations, this huge civilization, these massive cities with huge highways. And it took several decades for Spanish explorers to make it back there. And when they did, 50 to 100 years later, no signs of these cities. They thought Oriana was crazy. They said he made it up, including the Amazons, the actual Amazon women that attacked him, the poison arrows that were being bombarded at them as they floated past. All of it. They thought all of it was made up until recently. He was vindicated. As the rainforest shrinks back, these old ruins are exposed. And one way to tell that a society was agricultural is the nitrogen content in the soil. Now, until recently, we used manure, which we know is a carbon positive fertilizer. And we've long since changed over to a nitrogen rich, where we take nitrogen from the air, which is the most abundant gas in our atmosphere, and we make fertilizer like chemical fertilizer. And that's still not carbon neutral. And there is what we first called terra preta, and we couldn't figure out how they made it or what it was. Now we call biochar, and we can make it. And it's basically you burn wood and make charcoal. It's zero oxygen reaction. So you put the wood enclosed, get it burning, cut off the oxygen supply, and let it smolder like that. And then it keeps the structure, the form of the wood. So, and wood is porous. It's got all sorts of little nooks and crannies in there. And that it does several things. It's first of all, it's electrically charged negative, so it absorbs, it sucks, it pulls nutrients. So that's what makes it good soil. It also has all those nooks and crannies, so microbials can live and thrive there, and that's good for soil. And it holds water, which of course is good for crops. So biochar is also carbon negative. Now everyone's trying to be carbon neutral and reduce our carbon footprint. This is carbon negative. They had it before we even figured out how to make it, by hundreds, possibly thousands of years. So what I'm saying is the civilizers that I've been talking about for who knows 6 months now were real. They shared this technology, this information, and taught the natives agriculture. They got a leg up. Unless the Aztecs, Mayans, or Olmecs before them had it and they just developed it on their own, which is also possible. I'm definitely not saying aliens, but perhaps. Another thing about dirt is 5-second rule. I'm pro 5-second rule. You don't want dirt or germs getting onto your food. Now the dirt, you're gonna get, if you drop something on the ground, it's gonna pick up the dirt in the first second it touches. But I don't see how the 5-second rule really helps. Like if it sits there, like if it's a wet kind of a food, it'll absorb more and more the longer it sits there. If it's like a pizza cookie crumble or something, well, you know what? I just pick it up and plop it in my mouth. Oh, I did have some housekeeping from last week. The sombrero and the Native American headdress. Now, I only mentioned 13 kinds of hat because 13 is supposed to be an unlucky number, but sombrero and the Native American headdress are the two hats that are actually native to this continent. So I'm remiss for not mentioning them. But that's the dirt on that. You guys, talk dirty to me.
It is funny that you tie into the Native Americans because I was in the Cherokee Nation, in Cherokee, North Carolina, and they were very oppressed people and of course murdered for their land supposedly. I don't know if I had most of my ancestors or however that you want to figure that in murdered and I was worth like several million to $1 billion today. I think I might take that sacrifice. I think I may sacrifice my ancestors to make me a millionaire today. I don't know about you guys, but looked up the Cherokee people make 888, which is weird because it's all eights. $888 million a year alone just based off of their casinos. So poor indigenous
land.
folk. No, you don't own land.
Land.
Who owns land? Whoever can defend it.
I own this land. I've got 4 acres.
I was always taught that this land is my land. This land is your land.
Right.
Huh.
You know who taught me that song? Certainly not landowners.
No. I think it's funny in some circles, some social circles, a property is called a hunk of dirt.
Do you know how lucky it is?
Some social circle.
Do you know how lucky it is to have a group of people in such a circumference that it makes a circle? You were probably more in a social square.
Yeah.
Maybe.
A social triangle.
What about a tetrahedron?
Ooh.
A what?
A tetrahedron. That's one of the Platonic solids. You got back to the Greeks already. Where's your Seinfeld reference?
Give me some time.
All right.
Yep, he's got to eat on
Are you eating?
I'm still pulling up a tetrahedron.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Look right here. Look, this is my dinner. I was eating it up until maybe like, I don't know, 5 minutes before 10 o'clock.
Me too. I finished. That was a mint.
Really? Because
I literally I put a fucking mint in my mouth. And I just got I understand that just maybe my reputation precedes me, but I also don't care.
Are we getting back in the ass?
I also noticed last week's Brady and Drawer show, you talked a half an hour on loading a dishwasher. Hilarious. That's why I decided we exchanged fashion tips. And
I do not recall.
That's why that's the show to the climax of the Fladge Rants.
It's recorded.
So a tetrahedron is a kite shape?
No.
Is it 3-dimensional?
Remember when Jim Carrey went nuts?
Which time?
He came back and did an interview on some late night talk show and said everything's tetrahedrons.
Yeah, he had some weird shit, but he also had some weird shit before that too, where he potentially was the reason why his girlfriend killed herself.
Well, that's usually true.
Yeah.
That's
well, I mean, she was like madly in love, and he was kind of like done with it. But had he just been a little nicer, maybe she'd still be here, but maybe not. I don't know.
I think again, that's most men and women. If women were just a little nicer.
By the way.
Maybe.
I will be the death of my wife. Do you know what I did yesterday? Darn near blew up the barn.
Saying it on camera makes it premeditated.
Yes.
Well, no. Don't say that out loud either, because
you won't get the insurance money either.
No.
I know, but but it really freaked her out when she saw flames shooting out of her. Oh yeah, this just in. I nearly burned down my own barn yesterday when the forge caught fire and was shooting flames out of my barn door.
Well, you'll have to tell about that in a second, but you kind of took a turn on that. I was expecting something about your wife.
Well, that's enough to make her freak out to the point of, I don't know, coronary embolism.
Is that why we're looking at the wood paneling today, or?
No, I did not burn it to the ground.
She's gone. It's all gone. Here's the. You keep telling your story.
I thought it would be more polite for me to be outside screaming at my phone than to stay inside where she can hear me. But she told me that the dogs freak out and go nuts, and right now they're sleeping on both sides of me.
What the dog doing?
What the dog doing? So
what the dog doing?
She asked me to do it here, and you know, our followers, our loyal followers, love the wood panel. This is, this paneling.
Vintage.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Like
speaking of vintage, do you like my new shirt? It's older than dirt.
I recognize the name, but I don't recognize the font or the logo. I don't think.
No.
And
it is
blue. It's blue.
Oh, it's not really blue. That's blue.
Did you buy that from?
It's not red. How about let me rephrase the question, the concern. It's not red.
Did you buy that from somebody hawking them outside a Red Wings game or what?
I did, but in the 90s, in the 1990s, this shirt is older than dirt.
That's why it says Red Wings.
Yeah, right.
Again, Wangs.
It's the wrong font, wrong color. Oh, it's vintage.
That's why we decided to cover shirts today. Drawer, I noticed your shirt was from I believe that's the Brawny Paper Towel Man's shirt.
He's always representing the 313.
I took off a Tiger shirt to put on a Red Wings shirt.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm just about 25 minutes from Nashville. I was gonna go to Kid Rock's bar tonight just because I've been in the area. You can pop in there pretty quick and just have a beer or two. But I'll probably do that tomorrow night, or not enough time.
And that's in
Don't you have to head back? You said you were going to be out of state for 10 days. It's been 9.
No, that was last week. Now I'm working.
Oh, okay. Holy crap!
Yeah. Drove down to Columbus. Saw my girlfriend's sister, who's having the medical issues from the BPH or BHPs or whatever the fuck that I was mentioning on the last episode, where there's a lawsuit from NC State where there's like 300 people that are potentially, and some have already died. Some of her people that she knew that worked there more full time.
Not that kind of died.
No. I mean, sure. I already broke it on the last.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it's not breaking news.
But drove down to Columbus and then ended up going to Myrtle Beach, which way cheaper in the off season, and it's not like it was colder, but it was like awesome, perfect weather. Still got plenty of sun. Wasn't able to swim because it was cold, but we live in Michigan. We can go fucking swimming anytime in the summer we want, so don't really care about that. But when we drove back, she wanted to do the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is in the Appalachian Mountains. It goes from Virginia to South Carolina. The best part, actually, I think you're supposed to do it from the top down, but the best part was the back end, which is where we started, which is all on the Smoky Mountains and stuff. And so it's a very scenic drive. We wish we could have done more, but yeah, that was, yep. And so now I'm just north of Nashville because I have a job in the Nashville area this week.
We always wish we could.
End of story.
Oh, wow.
Well, since we're on the topic and since you mentioned it, so yeah, my damn it, that's one thing I forgot to pull up. Hold on, window. I want window. What the fuck? Why isn't the window showing up? It is all right because it's not fucking up. Why won't it show that screen?
Here's the
Yeah, go ahead. Trump me.
The rainforest receded and showed this civilization. You referenced something to it.
Oh, they're terraces. Yeah, those are cool.
So
biochar, it's the real deal. Now I want to start making my own biochar.
It sounds like you can.
Yeah. Little kids made a tin can one, like a little biochar furnace. It's a kiln, like a little oven. You throw the wood in there, light it up, cut off the air supply, and it turns into porous charcoal.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
Whoa.
You said air supply? Sorry.
I know it's too late.
Your sleeves are pushed up. It looks pretty awesome.
So good.
Thank you, my friend. Let's go have a burger, hang out in robes, and see what develops.
All right, I said I'm not going to do clips.
Ooh, I think from freaking Saturday Night Live.
We should open the show with a
Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan.
Banter performed tonight by six-time Grammy Award-nominated rapper and artist Flavor Flav.
I'm not going to play the whole thing. I think we should have it. It's 2024. Don't you think we should shorten the anthem?
Is it dirty?
Yes.
Can you see?
There's no auto-tune there.
By the dawn's early light.
Hey, my son did that.
What so proudly we hear.
Color guard.
He by the dawn's early lighted.
No, he got to hold the American flag a couple 10 years ago at a Red Wings game. We got to meet. What's the chick that sings the national anthem for the Red Wings?
The colored guard. Coloreds guard.
I think it's the color guard. You got to go more down south for the colored guard.
What so parts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red flare, the bombs burst.
I'll be right back. I have to go find a new jabber.
Gave proof to the
There it is. Sorry. That's the part that turned me on to the clip that went viral. Here's the he nails it. Listen how good this is. I'm sorry. That's he's not done.
Or the land of the free.
It actually wasn't that bad.
And the home of the brave, of the brave.
Amazing.
Man, it is fucking NBC Universal, man. You cannot find a single clip of that SNL Air Supply bit on YouTube, period. They got other shit, but that one specifically where they make fun of Air Supply and as if they're homosexuals. Maybe that's it. Because it does kind of tease that maybe they're potentially gay with each other. But it's not even like a bad light.
It sounds like you may be onto something though with that.
Yeah.
It's not
great bit.
See, I think just as the fact, when we used to say, not that there's anything wrong with that.
There isn't.
By the way, that was my Seinfeld. But I think that there should be nothing wrong with making fun of anything. Nothing should be off limits.
Exactly.
Way,
so
then nothing would be offensive. You just, I mean, get over it.
Karen Newman.
Yes, and
I normally don't point out my shirt, but before we get too far off of shirts, I got to point this out because it's the wrinkliest piece of shit that I've ever seen, and people are going to judge me. But the reason I have it on is because it says Fladge Rants.
Is it on a hanger or was it folded up?
It's, you know what? Whoever the supplier or whatever, I think they're permanently wrinkled. Did you like? What did you do before you gave it to me?
He washed it with a bunch of whites.
Actually, this one wasn't even one of those ones, so it's unfair. I shouldn't have said that.
That's probably why.
No, that was the first edition.
This was the first edition. I like the way it fits, but it's just wrinkled all the. I've never ironed a t-shirt. Have you ever ironed a t-shirt?
It's wrinkled all the time.
No,
I hang mine up.
I've never ironed.
I hanger mine
out of the dryer. It's wrinkled.
Karen Newman.
Karen Newman, thank you.
You're welcome.
She was great.
That was my first guess. I looked it up and I was right.
She met all the kids. She was great. And she probably does that before every freaking game. You know, she doesn't just go out there and sing. She has 45 minutes of meet and greet. Doesn't charge money like the comic book assholes do. Oh, you want to meet me? That's going to be $2.
We should start every Fladgecast with the singing of the national anthem. A bad one. Bad rendition. Like, remember Richard Hung?
Roseanne.
Oh, that's a good one.
I do not remember Dick Hung. Why don't you tell us about it?
He was such a flop on American Idol. That
I don't know if you meant to do
as
that.
above, so below. That's it.
Right. End of the high note.
So
have a good night.
Dick Hung was what?
Again? Was such a flop.
Now we're going back.
Yeah, unintentional. And do you know why I can't fire you guys from the Fladgecast? You guys know where the bodies are buried.
Because we're volunteers.
That's a dirt reference.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, Richard Hung is Asian. Richard Hung is Asian.
Celebrate.
So there's no flop. I should have.
We have to celebrate. Do you know what I'm talking about?
40th.
Celebrate good times, Simone.
40 is a good milestone. Tonight's the night we hit $1.
The nighttime is the right time.
Most establishments have a front desk. If you look around the front desk, you'll see a framed dollar, and it's the first dollar that business made.
I have mine. I still have mine over there. But I started my business in 1999, so it's actually a $5 bill because $1 bills have no purpose.
Ooh.
Oh, well.
It's technically a $1 bill now.
Should I have got? It was the first money. It was the first cash I ever got in. I framed it. I could present it right now. But I mean, should I have gotten change and got rid of 4 of them? It's the actual.
No, I'm just saying that $5 back then is worth $1 now.
Quick story. We were online. A guy was talking. He needed a cable. I said, "Here, I'll send you the cable. Just send me the money if you get it." And that I trusted him. He's like, "Thank you." He was like my age. I was young, and he folded up the money in some kind of cardboard thing and just sent it in an envelope. Totally stupid, but I guess it wasn't.
I was never young.
It made me feel good about human beings because, you know, I mean, he could have just kept the cable. He didn't have to send me the money after I sent it to him. But like, how would he trust
me? What's the dog doing?
For him? So I clearly.
What the dog doing?
It's a good.
It made
story.
you feel good about one human
good
being.
Story of trust. Yeah. Well, you know what? It only takes one because it made me start. I was like, well, if I can do this, I can start my whole business. And now I'm here. Without that guy trusting me and me, you know, that little stupid interaction, I may still be working at a robotics place, dreading my. No offense, Gary. That was.
I like going to work.
I know. You love it. I just you do a. I'm gonna just stop talking. I worked at a plastics place 1/2 day.
Build a factory?
1/2 day once.
Yeah. I actually already shouted out Anonymous Dave. He doesn't watch this.
Well, you should shout out somebody who's hung and watching.
Did I get his name wrong? I think it is Richard Hung.
Yeah, that's a little. Go ahead.
I have a Richard Hung. I have a hung dick.
I don't want to show it at all because it's pornographic, but there was I did want to bring it up, but
I don't want to see anything else but it now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to show
something
pornographic is how everything should be started out.
The Drake Dick nude that he put out. which
Sorry,
is really
Troy,
weird.
I was not clear. There's a certain kind of porn that I like, and then there's dicks.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. Yeah, it was him by himself, like whacking off in a mirror or laying on his bed, and he took his own picture. But pretty sure the man. Everyone's talking about how hung he was, but I was curious because he was doing one of them like squeeze it at the base, so it looks larger than it really is, but it's pretty big anyway. But it was really like half cocked, and he was squeezing it at the base, and it was only looking about three-quarter cocked. So I'm pretty sure Drake has. Pretty sure Drake has ED.
Oh, he might have Peroni's.
Okay.
You know, Peroni's.
And I have heard horror stories about people with overly large dicks that the blood flow doesn't fully get to them, so they never get fully hard often. And then I have also heard horror stories.
You know, the T and often silent, right?
Well, often.
Either way nowadays. Nobody cares
just
about
spilling the tea.
Nobody cares about your.
No,
I'm
just always silent.
Nope.
You know, Drake is to Toronto like Eminem is to Detroit.
Yeah, except Toronto is Toronto and Detroit is Detroit. Actually, Eminem was born in St. Paul, Missouri, and lived there until he was 12. Little known fact.
Fact check. Cambridge Online. I don't know if you accept that as an authority, but they
I don't know. Phoenix is that comparable to Phoenix University Online?
They accept the pronunciation often, without the T, but also gives the pronunciation with the T. Seems like they check other dictionaries, but it's silent. So Cambridge, does that have any authority? It sounds more British than English to me.
Does it have does it have the pronunciations?
Pronunciations is the word that you're looking for.
Pronunciation?
Pronunciation. Not pronunciations.
Pronunciation. T is not silent in pronunciation.
When did I say pronounce? I never said that.
Rewind it. Roll the clip, Brady.
Often.
Gary's making false statements.
T silent. I can't play the clip.
Roll it back. It was 2 minutes ago.
Till we get off of YouTube.
You're 2 minutes ago.
He's dreaming.
It sounds more British than English.
Does it have the pronunciations? Pronunciations.
Pronunciations is the word that you're looking for.
Yeah, that's literally what I just said.
Literally
what I said.
So I don't mind
literally or literally.
I don't mind your nitpicking, but making it up and conjuring it out of thin air is a little bit.
Yeah, that's an incorrect correction, is what we call that, which is a waste of time.
Yeah, incorrect correction.
Superfluous. There I go.
You were right. I was wrong. I apologize.
Thank God.
I don't even need to push it. That's great. I want to know what this button does. I labeled it something.
I like how they have the UK on my end. They have the UK. The UK and the US separate, but it's the same thing.
Often.
Wait, damn it.
It's the same fucking thing.
You know we're not hearing it because some asshole joined with his share screen late and some other asshole didn't unmute it.
Well, I actually joined earlier than I do most
times.
You
did, but the share screen.
The shared screen. Oh, Lord.
Often.
No one tells me anything. I just kind of go with the
default, not muted. It's that simple.
Steve, you son of a bitch. God damn it, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Come on, Steve.
Often.
The second one of each one shows the T. If you know how to read, what is that called? Phonetic?
Yeah.
It shows you the one with and without, both of them. The with and without.
Often.
I think it's pronuncialization.
Pronuncialization.
Yeah, right.
If your message is relayed in context, who gives a fuck?
Well, there is a certain threshold in which you want to stay above.
But people can't agree on that threshold. Some people
get offended.
Some people get offended
at everything online.
I say or eating online, that sort of stuff. But you know what I'm saying. I got no regrets. I got no regrets.
Eating online is perfectly fine. Eating into the microphone when you have the availability of muting it is, obnoxiously assholish.
It is.
Great example.
The more
your gods don't exist. Prove me wrong.
What do you mean?
Convince me otherwise.
My gods. What do you mean our gods? I don't know. You're
You guys both have different definitions of the word, so neither one of your gods exists.
Well, let me let's just tie back into my weekend then, since we want to talk about gods.
Bury your gods in the dirt.
You can buy dirt.
I did buy dirt.
How do I get? No, sorry, wrong one.
I actually want to get some more play sand. Easy and I pitched some horseshoes yesterday, and it was just too muddy out there.
You and Easy were playing in the sand.
Play sand.
Yeah.
Fucking child. Why is this being?
Was that your beach shot?
Yeah. Hold on.
It shows the curvature of the Earth.
No, it's flat.
Well, that's a. Does that look grainy at all on your end, or is that just how I'm seeing it?
I'm
looks
not
clear.
Sure.
No, it looks spectacular.
It's a little dirty.
All right, so this is the balcony. Why is this stupid fucking? This has never been here before, and why is my mouse?
I like the way your panorama captures the curvature of the Earth, though. They'll say that water stays flat, and that proves it.
Oh, why does that do that?
It's pretty dark.
So
it's a little dark now. Oh, that's better.
This is the balcony, right?
Yeah.
Why does it? I used to be able to change what I'm sharing versus stopping and starting. That's really stupid. Unless it's just because I'm going in the window.
Share this tab instead.
No, it's the window. It's the window.
I'm bored already.
No, it's the window. I get it.
Welcome to our world, Gary. Just be bored for a moment.
All right.
You can see my mouse on the screen here, right? So over here, right, in the direction, planes would kind of come in from this way, where they're coming from Florida or wherever. They would come in and they would land, coming in this area here, right? Because the airport, Myrtle Beach Airport, is right in this section, but in the right corner, right side over here. They would fly over the one hotel, actually. There'd be other planes that would occasionally come from straight across here that would go and be coming in from like Maine or Canada. Less frequent than those planes here, right? So you have an area that's very, very high traffic planes, right? So any other object that would be in the sky would have to fly at a certain length, height, or be a certain whatever. So this is kind of what I mocked up here. Hopefully it comes across well. But so this is a picture during the day out. Oh no, hold on, wrong one.
I'm gonna help you out a little bit, make people believe more.
What do you mean? Okay, so this is, I don't know. You can see the 6 dots that are there, correct?
I see 3 dots.
Right. So there's 3 here, and then there's also, when you zoom in, there's 3 here. So I mocked this up. See, it is grainy, is it not?
Yeah. Of course, when you zoom in.
Right, so I'm looking out. It's nighttime, pitch black. We can see, the plane lights and stuff. There's actually planes that are like currently, in this area here. I see a segment of 3 lights about here. I would say maybe they were a little bit smaller and a little bit more in the background a bit. It was kind of hard to mock this up and kind of figure visually where I saw it, but all 3 lights lit up, and then it went 2 lights, 1 light, 0 lights from left to right. And I saw the 3 lights lit up. They were rectangular, orangish yellow lights. It was a decently large object that would be larger than the airplanes that were coming in for sure. And it went 3 lights lit up, 2 lights lit up, 1 light lit up, no lights lit up. And I saw that, and I was like, and I'm thinking like, what the fuck was that? So I start squinting and zooming in to see, because it was close enough to where I should have been able to pick up on the body of it. And there was enough residual light that I should have been able to pick up on any, like a little bit of a shadow or something. And so I'm looking like directly after they shut off, what the fuck that could be. And so all of a sudden, like in the periphery back here, much smaller, much further away, 3 lights, 2 lights, 1 light, no light. I saw the first set of lights and was looking for that. And it was so far away from where those lights initially were that I didn't even see it went 3, 2, 1. I only saw 2, 1. My girlfriend was sitting right next to me, did not see the first set of lights, saw the second set of lights. And it is way too close to airport traffic. It's incredible of how large the craft, if that's all one craft or all together, how large that would have been. And then the fact that it went from where I initially saw it to where I then saw it a second time is an incredible distance, extremely fast. And then we didn't see it at all again after that period. Pretty fucking remarkable. Probably I have three main things that I've seen. The one was Gary, I mentioned with you. We were driving to Easy's and we saw that one light and the other light split off and then go in a circle around the other light. And then I saw one up north with my brother where there was three lights that were traveling together and then all pitched. They were staying the same distance away from each other. They pitched and took an oddball turn, but all kind of traveled together. This might top it. This is kind of fucking weird.
The problem I always have with lights is, do you know who puts lights on their vehicles? Humans. Do you know who wouldn't have any reason to put lights on their vehicles? Aliens.
How do you know that?
Yeah, why not? They may be not as anyway. Why not? How else are they going
to most beings need light to see.
All beings need light to see.
Not all beings.
Bats don't.
All beings need light to see.
No, they don't. You ever see the bottom of the ocean?
Yes, there's sightless.
Zero light.
Sightless creatures live in the dark. Sightless.
Yeah. There's animals that have eyes that have eyes that don't see.
Requires light.
So
this isn't even up for debate.
Do you think that that they could have been planes coming in, and you saw
three of them
traveling in a complete opposite direction?
One plane,
one big one.
The lights are so non-specific of any normal.
As the plane turns, you'll see all but the facing light.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 out. 3, 2, 1 gone. 3, 2, 1 gone. 3, 2, 1 gone. Way further distance. 3, 2, 1 gone. Same exact light, same exact size, just more in the periphery, more in the distance, and it was incredible. If it had to be the same object, the distance that it traveled within. What else would it have been? What else would it have been? You're in an airport area. The only other vehicle that was there was two other very low flying passenger planes and then a helicopter that was doing tours. They were flying by all day. There was nothing going in that direction at the rate of that speed, at the angle. Everything else was taking off and going in a different direction.
I'm just
landing. This is the landing side. Vehicle. This is the landing side.
My only problem with
the takeoffs are going towards.
It has to be a different vehicle, is how all those TV shows, the UFO shows, talk, and it doesn't have to be.
Well, I'm not saying it's a vehicle, to be honest. It's a UFO or UAP. It's unidentified, unexplained. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
There was planes in the flight path there, and so your reasoning was that it has to be UFO because it was in the flight path. It has to be a plane because it was in the flight path. But I'm a skeptic.
It's going the opposite direction of the flight path. It was pretty fucking remarkable. It was very vivid. It was very like this. There is something there. That's weird. That's very way large and way rectangular square. How the lines lined up with each other, and just the distance it traveled. This was the landing side for this airport. No planes were taking off in this direction.
Was it on the 22nd?
I don't know what fucking day it was.
That would have been
Tuesday night.
Tuesday?
It was the night after.
That would have been Thursday. WGL, a bunch of people reported seeing this, but this doesn't sound like what you were describing. I'm not saying this is what it was. I'm just saying that people reported seeing this. I don't know where WGAL is, but it was in the early morning on February.
Looks like freaking Skylink.
Oh.
Well, they usually say it's Skylink right up.
Right. They would go, hey.
Starlink, yeah, they're pointing it out. Okay,
so it already is. They already ruined it.
It didn't look like that, right?
No, it was three solid lights.
Yeah, from what you described,
three were on, 2 were on, 1 were on, none were on.
See, I don't know what it is, but
3 seconds later, it was like a mile, 2 miles in the distance.
The proper way to analyze it is to say what it isn't one by one. You can't just say my perception is this, so it must be that.
Well, I mean, what could it have been?
Anything.
What are the possibilities?
Could have been anything.
I mean, it couldn't have been like
seriously, from not seeing
all right, let's move on.
Could have been Joran mushrooms. Could have been
no, it was not a mushroom.
I mean, it could have been anything as far as I'm concerned. It could be an alien. Like nothing
No,
is off
because
limits.
two people saw it. Two people saw it at
Oh,
two
well,
different
shit, if
intervals.
2 people saw it.
And I
then
didn't
fuck.
go, "Oh, did you see that?" I saw it and I didn't say anything because I'm like, I'm just more or less, what the fuck is that? I'm zooming in trying to catch
I'm not discounting
the
that you saw
size of it,
something.
because if all the lights are together, the size of this craft was long. It was freaking a very saucer type shape with lights that would cascade one fucking side of it. I don't know. What else would it be?
I've seen some pretty crazy
there's lights.
shit, and then
I've
once
never
they flew
seen
out of the clouds. They looked like a plane.
I've never seen a craft with lights that large and that bright on it, that far away, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It was interesting because so say it was 3 lights on, 3, 2, 1, and then it appeared over here 3, 2, 1. The lights weren't traveling when I saw them. It's not like the lights were moving and I saw the lights moving. It was like stagnant lights 3, 2, 1, stagnant lights 3, 2, 1.
That's why I think
that was it. Never again. Never again.
The machine was coming right at you, and then when it turned, that's when they went out of view. 3, 2, 1.
No, because I think it went over if there was another 3, 2, 1 flash, it would have been over the next horizon. That's how far away the first one from the second one was.
It landed, and you never saw those
There's
lights.
no turning. It was the same. It was the same perspective of 3 lights. The lights didn't have a change of posture. All they had was a change of distance and size.
I just know I'm too much of a skeptic to have this conversation because.
Well, I don't know what the fuck it would be. Like
I
what?
like this
What else?
I don't know what the fuck it would
It's
be
confusing.
either.
It's just confusing. The lights were too large that I've seen on any plane that would be landing or
Really?
whatever. The lights on planes are very bright, but they're smaller.
The headlights that they turn on when they're
They're
landing.
big squares. It was traveling away from us. It was going away in the opposite direction. They'll put headlights on the rear of the plane, and they don't have them in sequence of 3, 2, 1. They don't go, hey, pilot, you can see a lot, you can see a little bit less, you can see a little bit less, and then you can see nothing.
But
and we're just going to repeat that for the pilots for fun.
if it's going away from you, you could have saw them pointing out. When it turns away, you're not going to see the lights anymore. But I'm saying
it
that
was lights and lights. It was the same. There was no change
is it
in how they looked.
possible that when you didn't see the lights, you didn't see the lights for any other reason besides they shut off?
What do you mean?
Could have something have got in the way of your view?
No, there's nothing there. It's clear sky.
Well, the object itself could have. Because you said it was nighttime and all you saw was lights, and lights do really weird perspective things, even bend.
Not in that instance. It's too specific, way too specific.
Did you get video of it?
No, of course not.
That's a shame.
All I have is I know. Yeah, of course.
That almost never
if I could
happened.
rewind. If I could turn back time.
Careful.
Sorry.
We're going to get copyright.
I know, right? Yeah, speaking of which, I had to go. Blah, blah, blah. Beep, beep, deep. Do it.
Here, I'm going to put in the call so maybe somebody on the YouTube can call.
Yeah, also do the little Gary left drop.
Oh, you left.
Gary's back already. He came back. God damn it. Worst producer ever.
Sorry.
I'll do this one.
Here we go. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. Is that enough? Or shall I go on?
Those are dirty words.
Please go on.
Those are dirty.
You know what? I wish I could start where I left off. Come on, Steve. Oh, no, that's not Steve. Sorry, Steve.
Here we go.
Sorry,
Shit, piss,
Steve.
fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. Is that enough? Or shall I go on? Faggot, 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 faggot. Wait. Go faggot, jabber, faggot, faggot.
Oops. I should have done that after I did this. That might have been my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, assholes, come on over to Rumble.
Disclaimer. The unfiltered and crude proclamation of jabber speech.
Rumble.com/Fladge Rants.
And uncensored banter. Here's our no-nonsense disclaimer. Served with a side of
Where you can say anything you want, and within a year you can earn $1.
We're snowflakes, applesauce, and jabber critic. We're just trying to spread some joy without stepping on too many toes. So, here's jabber, article I. Let's get jabber, the sole gibber of our discourse, be it from guests, hosts, or any random loudmouth. It's to tickle your funny bone, tease your gray matter, and illuminate the path to a mirthful existence. Any semblance of seriousness is gibber accidental. Article 2. Jabber everyone equally. We're equal gibber offenders. All right. We don't give a hoot about your gibber, race, religion, or whether you prefer cats or dogs. We're here to roast everyone from politicians to gibber to our own sorry selves. No gibber safe, not even grandma's apple pie. Article 3. Screw political jabber. Listen, we ain't here to hold your hand or jabber anything. So, if our jabber offend you, tough luck. We're not responsible for any ruffled feathers or gibber feelings. But hey, if you can take the heat, we promise we'll dish out some belly laughs and maybe a couple of gibber. Article I. Gibber, fake news alert, the tales, rumors, and downright lies you hear here are as gibber as a $3 bill. Any resemblance to real life events or people, whether alive or pushing up daisies, is purely gibber and probably a result of us hitting the bottle too hard. We're pretty sure the earth is round, but jabber, who cares? Article B. Jabber, cause why not? Parody and gibber are bread and butter, folks. Any likeness to actual people or characters is just us having a laugh, not a reason for a jabber. We might not be the smartest gibber in the jar, but we sure know how to stir up some trouble. So, in closing, if you've made it this far without getting your undies in a gibber, then congrats, you're our kind of people. We're just here to crack a few tasteless jokes, spread some jabber joy, and remind everyone that life's too short to be serious all the frickin' time. So buckle up, buttercup, and get ready for a wild ride through
You were right. I was wrong. I apologize.